you talk to her like she was somebody who would talk to your mama. Don't be smart with her, have a heart to heart with it, girl, it's like you would with your daughter. Cause everything you do or say, you got to live with it every day. She's somebody's baby, she's somebody's sister, she's somebody's mama.
My grandmothers are the two women I love the most. The first, my father's mother. Short, fat, black, almost the texture of velvet. Her skin grinned before she did. She raised 6 grandchildren with my grandfather's fist in her back, but she tells me that it is okay though, because she did not ask God for a second marriage to a man who would not leave her. She only asked God for a man who would provide for her children, and he did that. When her kids got older, she would say if she could have skipped them to get to their children instead, she would have. One of those kids were me. I would name her Granny. She drank her coffee black. She fried chicken every day for the 10 of us. She could make dolls that would from scratch that would look like the queen by the time she was finished. Her hands are exactly like mine. She could make anything. She's the first woman I knew God in. She became my lighthouse. Granny used to tell these stories. One of which when she was 6 years old in church that was held in a barn in the middle of an old plantation in Louisiana. During the praise and worship, she was the only one who noticed the roof had caught fire. No one heard her shouting, but when the roof began to collapse, the congregation turned into a stampede and Granny was trampled into the ground. She was the last one to make it out, but everyone survived. Granny tells me this story is the reason she does not rush anymore. Meaning, she didn't want to forget anything. Which means she didn't want anyone to feel forgotten, which is to say, not all forgotten things are godless things, and she never rushed for godless things, so she always rushed for me. Her light, a rapid staccato beacon to guide me home.
When you talk to her like she was somebody who would talk to your mama. Don't be smart with her, have a heart to heart with it, girl, it's like you would with your daughter. Cause everything you do or say, you got to live with it every day. She's somebody's baby, she's somebody's sister, she's somebody's mama.
The second, my mother's mother. Tall, slender, all the white of a Canadian flag. I have her nose and tongue. I do the best I can with the both of them. I would call her Grandma. She would sing, couldn't hold a single note, but she tried. She danced, Motown all the way from the 1960s to 2013. She would say, I used to be sweet on the military men back then, but your father, your grandfather, he Sam Cooke crooned me all the way down to America. Which is to say, he did not do the same for her in return, which does not mean he was not a fighter too. He beat her until color was no longer the line distinguishing the two of them. But he loved her. Grandma was sick her entire life, but she was too much stubborn to let the lupus stop her sassing. When I came out to her, she told me I should go to San Francisco because that's where we all live. I laughed, thanked her for pinpointing the fish for me. My grandmothers were the two women who cared the least. And they were like sisters, you know. They lived on the same street. Their bellies shook the same way when they laughed at the banter. If Granny was the lighthouse, then call Grandma the boat, because that woman weathered every storm imaginable, always made it back to shore. I had not weathered nearly as many as she did while she was here, but she always made sure I arrived back on dry land every single time. She is where I find my endurance. They are where I learned to survive, and to live, and to live, and to live, and to drift, until I find my way home.
When you talk to her like she was somebody who would talk to your mama.
Let's go.
Talk with her, have a heart to heart with it, just like you would with your daughter. Cause everything you do or say, you got to live with it every day. She's somebody's baby, she's somebody's sister, she's somebody's mama.